Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video for you all today. So today I bring you loot from 10 hours of Vyrewatch Sentinels. And the goal for this video is without a doubt to receive as many blood shards as possible, because as you can see on screen there, at a current price of 6.5 million, this 10 hour could prove to be one of the most profitable yet. Alongside that, we can expect a lot of hard clue scrolls, a decent amount of strength XP, and a very laid back AFK experience. But before we get into this video to see how lucky I may or may not get, we do have some quick words from our sponsor today, Mech Arena. So there's a lot of shooting games out there right now, but this game truly does stand out from the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Mech Arena. This is a 5v5 mech shooter that is casual, fun, but also just great to look at. It's bright, the maps and the mechs are sleek and varied. I mean, just take a look at the different mechs that you can choose from, the custom paint jobs, the skins, not to mention that you can collect and upgrade dozens of mechs to your liking, improve your weapons, or even unlock special abilities or passive effects. The more upgraded your mech is, the more health and firepower you will receive, so give it your all. And the best part about all this is that you can invite any of your friends to come and enjoy this game with you, because it runs good on almost any device. There are a load of events happening in game right now as well, all the way through the month, where you can get a bunch of awesome weapons, including Mech Arena's hottest new weapon, the disc launcher. On top of that, there's also a ton of Halloween events to take part in and some extra special Halloween skins to win. Mech Arena is completely free to play on Android and iOS right now, and you can use my personal link or scan my QR code to get one Forest Digital skin, 208 coins, and 10,000 credits to help you kickstart your game. And if you're quick, you can even add me to your friends list and we can play some matches together too. So don't wait around, and hopefully I will see you all there. And a huge thanks to Mech Arena for sponsoring today's video. Alright, now that that is completed, ladies and gentlemen, 10 hours of Vyrewatch Sentinels. So I've done a video on these before. A couple years ago I did kill 3,000 of them. I probably wasn't a couple years ago, because these were released into the game June 4th, 2020. So still relatively new, and in that 3,000 kill experience I did make a lot of money, and it was very AFK. And even though I did say in that previous video that the price of a blood shard would crash because so many people kill these things, it's actually stayed pretty stable around 6 to 7 mil for quite a while now. So I'm really hoping to get as many blood shards as possible in these 10 hours. These Vyrewatch Sentinels, they're basically a stronger variant of the normal Vyrewatch, and you do have to complete Sins of the Father quest to reach this area. It's a very annoying quest, and this area in general is not liked by many people, but it's worth doing, definitely worth checking out if you do have the quest completed. And if you're a big fan of Slayer, then you can purchase the ability to be assigned vampires, and that's only 80 Slayer points. So that's why occasionally you will see people here with a Slayer helmet, but for this 10-hour grind, I rarely did see that. Most of the people that I was running into were all in prayer gear. Not a great way to start the video, receiving a Dragon Med Helm, which is about 1 in 12,000, much more rare than a Blood Shard, so hopefully we don't see too many more of those. And as we've already seen, 2 Clue Scrolls, you can expect level 3, also known as Hard Clue Scrolls, to be dropped from these Vyrewatch Sentinels. I did save all of them towards the end of the video, so you guys will see the loot from all the Clue Scrolls, but I wanted to do that outside of the 10-hour grind, so this way we could just see the profit made per hour without the Clue Scrolls. You can always come back to those after. As this bank tab grows, just like I mentioned before, prayer gear is very important here. I was using Proselyte as well as a max cape. The max cape's essentially a prayer cape, so my prayer points would go down twice as slow. I think that's how that works. And as well as this, I was just using the main weapon for these Vyrewatch Sentinels, and that would be the Blisterwood Flail. But you can also use an Evandus Flail. It's just kind of up to you on that. Other gear that you can look at other than Proselyte would be monk robes if you're going to go all welfare, or if you're just more of a fan of DPS, then you can just use bandos here and use the altar that is right south of the bank. It's a very popular training location for your strength XP too, because these vampire weapons are really just predominantly strength related, so I was getting a lot of strength XP in this video. I managed to hit 118 million. Truly have no life, but that's alright. And as it goes for the inventory setup, other than the gear of course, I was really just rocking the Saradomin Godsword and a Super Combat Potion, Divine Super Combat Potion. Saradomin Godsword is definitely not necessary here, because as you do have all your HP, you're never going to really get damaged because you're always going to be protecting from melee, and there's also an altar south, so you can use that at your own convenience. The Saradomin Godsword does give you prayer back, and it does give you HP back if you happen to run out of prayer, so that is good, but you're not going to be able to damage these Vyrewatches with it, so it's kind of up to you if you want to bring that. Personally, I just like extending my inventories as long as I can without clicking the altar, because I just like to be as most AFK as I can, so it really just comes down to your preference and if you can afford an SGS. You do need to get the clothing set in order to use the bank here, so just make sure to pick that up. I think it's just found in a chest somewhere south of the town. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. I think the only hard part about this is just the quest that it takes to get to this location. Once you reach this location, you will be rewarded. I mean, not only do they have a decent drop table, but the price of the blood shard is still high and it's not that uncommon to receive. Drop rate of it is only 1 in 1500 and it's currently about 6.4 mil, and the making of this video was about 3 days ago and it was at 6.7 mil, so I mean it could be going down a little bit, but I wouldn't worry too much. There are many people using these blood amulets, blood furies, whatever you want to call it, which requires the shard, so there's always going to be more people and more demand for this item, which is probably why it's still stable in price. I did receive a lot of weird rares during this video, such as a rune two-hander, a rune square shield, even had a shield left half at one point, which without a ring of wealth equipped, that is 1 in 25,000. I mean, you're always going to see those uncommon rare drops, especially here for some reason. It seemed like my luck was just not in the right place, especially at the start, and even at 5-6 hours into this video so far, still no blood shards, so I'm really hoping to still see that, because without that, the profit will still be there, but not as much as it could be. As you can see in the bank tab, there's all sorts of different drops from these Vyrewatch Sentinels. I'll be price checking everything at the end, but I would mainly just focus on the runes as well as the coin stack. Those items make it so that you never have to bank. And as you can see, there's multiple rune items such as the full helm, kite shield, dagger, and all the uncommon rune items that you can get too. So bringing a rune pouch here, especially if you're on an alternate account or you're trying to AFK, it's really smart to bring high alks. You guys know me, I'm not a big fan of high alking anything. We got to pick up everything for the video, so I wasn't doing that, but I did see a lot of people here using high alks. So if you have a rune pouch, make sure to bring that along. I don't really think you need a herb sack or a gem bag. The herbs and gems are very uncommon here. As you've probably noticed by now in this video, there's a lot of banking clips, and that's because, ladies and gentlemen, there's only so many blood shards that you can get in a time span of 10 hours, but here we are about 8 hours total later into this video that we did receive our first shard. Price on the ground is 6.2 mil, so I guess it went down more, but yeah, it does vary in price, but either way, 8 hours later we did receive it. I was very happy to see this, because no matter what, that's an easy 600k profit per hour. The reason I know this is because there's minimal supply spent here. The only thing I was ever using was Divine Super Combat Potions, and that was only like 1 to 2 sips per inventory. Just depends if it's a 5 to 10 minute trip. So very minimal. I don't even think I'll probably calculate the supply cost. So that's awesome. Blood Shard guaranteed a ton of profit, and ironically right after that we did receive that shield left half that I mentioned earlier. My luck was just all over the place, but that's okay. As long as we got a shard, I think that is the 4th one that I've had on this account total. Iron Man still hasn't gotten one, so I do need to work on that in the future, but either way, it's really nice to receive that, and you know, even in the bank they have a pet Bloodveld, so I mean, I don't know, this location is just all sorts of surprises. And speaking of my Iron Man account, I was fishing Infernal Eels the whole entire time throughout this video, so 10 hours of Infernal Eels matched with 10 hours of Vyrewatch Sentinels. You can always multitask on multiple accounts while you're here. I imagine most people are probably on multiple accounts if they are here, because it's just so AFK and you're really just standing in the same spot for minutes on end, so it's really a benefit to be playing on multiple accounts. In regards to the Infernal Eel video, I'm actually doing 30 hours of that, so you guys will see that probably in like a few days or so. Either way though, here we are 9 hours into the video, getting a lot of things that are just not worth picking up. As you can see in the bank tab, a lot of low-level herbs, a lot of low-level seeds, but I really wanted to try to pick up mostly everything to give you guys an idea of the loot that you can expect here, especially without a blood shard. Bank tab will probably not be looking as full as mine was, especially if you bring a herb sack and other things like that, but either way, it is really nice to see the variety of drops. A lot of the bolt tips aren't really worth picking up either, but the onyx bolt tips are occasional here. Those are always worth picking up. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Loot from 10 hours of Vyrewatch Sentinels has been completed. In my experience, it was very laid back. I was really good strength XP, and it was really good money. So I'm going to be the first one to recommend that anyone out there who wants to AFK a monster and also get some decent strength XP, come check out Vyrewatch Sentinels. Maybe use an alternate account, maybe use your main, or do some Slayer against vampires and maybe get lucky and get that shard. Even without that blood shard, the drop table's decent, and all these level 3 clue scrolls that we've acquired throughout this video, which I believe was 7 hard clues, and all the kills that I did, I was getting on average about 115 to 120 kills per hour. So if you're looking at it like that, you should receive a blood shard on average like every 15 hours or so, something like that. So that's really not too bad based on the drop rate, and of course if you're lucky then you can always get one much sooner. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the price check, see our overall profit from 10 hours of killing these Vyrewatch Sentinels. We have over 1,000 dust banked, which means I tried to pick up as much as I could, but you can only get so many. Either way, they're 520 GP each, so don't be shy from them. 3.2 mil from the very first price check, not bad at all. And now we move on to the second price check. This is just the rest of all of the items I received. I wanted to price check all the items without the blood shard included, so we just saw the overall profit without the blood shard compared to with it. Either way, the second price check does come out to be a steady 1 mil, which means about 4.2 mil in total normal drops in 10 hours, about 420k an hour. Now with that price of the shard at this current point in time, 6.7 mil coming from that means if you add up all of the numbers we've seen, 10.9 mil from 10 hours of Vyrewatch Sentinels. And I'm still looking for my third H plate body from these hard clues, 782, actually 783 overall completed, and another 900k from the clue scrolls from this video, so we'll just round that up to a mil and call it about 11.8 mil made in 10 hours time. Honestly, a really relaxing experience. I hope you guys check this place out if you're into the same thing, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate the continued support, guys, and I will see you next time. And until then, Mr. No Sleep out.